Hi everybody, Mrs. Bodechon here. So today we're going to be practicing some stoichiometry conversions. Let's go ahead and start with this one. We're going to be going from moles to molecules. It says, find the number of molecules in 2.5 moles of sulfur dioxide, which is SO2. You always want to start with what you know. And we know 2.5 moles of sulfur dioxide. Now you're diagonal down, okay, so diagonal and then down. So we're not talking about the top, diagonal down always has to be the same unit so we can cancel it out. So we know this bottom one is going to be moles of SO2. Well, then what would have to be on top? That's what we want to find or what we want to end up with. In this case, we're asking for molecules. So this needs to end in molecules. We need to use one of our conversion factors that we've learned. And we know that 1 mole equals Avogadro's number of molecules. So let's go ahead and put that in. So 1 mole of SO2 equals the 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of SO2. They're equivalent to one another. You can flip this upside down or right side up, whichever way you need it to be able to cancel out your units. So we can cancel out these moles, and we will be left with molecules. So you need to put this in your calculator correctly. You were going to do the 2.5 times Avogadro's number and then divide it by the bottom, which is just 1. So really, this is just multiplication in this case. Now, helpful hint, when you're putting in Avogadro's number in your calculator, if you were just using a scientific calculator, use parentheses. I promise it will help you out. You're going to do parentheses 6.022 times, and you're going to hit the second button, and then you're going to look for EE, and it's a capital EE, and push that button, and then hit 23 parenthesis, okay? Every calculator is different, but most calculators have that EE button. If not, try to look for 10 to the N, okay? It's a lowercase n. If you put that in, you should be getting 1.5 times 10 to the 24 molecules of SO2. Make sure that you try this in your calculator, you guys, so you know how to use it prior to the day of the quiz or test. Let's try another one. We're going from molecules to moles. A sample contains 3.01 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of sulfur dioxide, SO2. Determine the amount in moles. So we need to start with what we know, which is the 3.01 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of SO2. Diagonal down has to be the same unit so we can cancel it out. So it's going to end up being molecules, and we want to go to moles. So we're using the same conversion factor, but we're going to flip it this time, right? And we're going to put Avogadro's number on the bottom so that we can cancel out these molecules of the SO2. So it's just 1 mole equals Avogadro's number. Type it in your calculator this time. You multiply the top, and you're going to divide by the bottom. So the 3.01 times 10 to the 23rd, use parentheses in your calculator, and you're going to divide that by Avogadro's number. Again, make sure you're using those parentheses, and you end up getting 0.499 moles of SO2. All right, let's go ahead and try moles to grams. How many grams are there in 3.8 moles of iron Fe? Start with what you know in the upper left-hand corner, 3.8 moles of Fe. Now diagonal down has to be moles of Fe in order to cancel out. And we want to go to grams, so that needs to be in our upper right-hand corner of our bridge. Well, we need to go to the periodic table in order to find the grams, which is the molar mass of iron. If you go and you look at the square, you will see it's 55.845. Well, I'm just going to round to 55.85 grams of iron, and you can flip-flop this any way you want because that's equal to 1 mole, okay? We want it so we can cross off the moles, so it needs to be diagonal down as 1 mole, all right? In your calculator, you were going to type 3.8 times 55.85, and you're going to divide that by the bottom, which is 1. In this case, really all you have to do is multiply. So you end up getting 212.21 grams of iron. Let's try one more, you guys, grams to moles. So convert 20 grams of calcium to moles. Start with what you know. You know you have 20 grams of calcium. You are going to do diagonal down grams of calcium, and you want to end up with a mole. Well, again, we're going to go to the periodic table to find the molar mass. So if you look at the square on the periodic table, calcium is 40.078, and we want diagonal down to be grams. So that's where we're going to put our molar mass, and it is equivalent to 1 mole of calcium. We can go ahead and cancel out those units. In your calculator, you are going to type 20 times 1 and then divide it by 40.078, and you end up getting 0.49 moles of calcium. You all, I hope this was so helpful to you. Please hit that subscribe button and like this video. Tune in for next time. Bye, everybody.